Mariah Carey is celebrating a milestone anniversary in 2024, but in this episode, we're going to go back to when her journey to becoming the Queen of Christmas was just beginning. I'm Drew Savage, and this is the story behind the Christmas hits, All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Behind the Christmas Hits with Drew Savage.
Mariah's Merry Christmas album was released October 28, 1994. At the time of this recording, it has just marked its 30th anniversary. Its big hit, All I Want for Christmas Is You, has become a standard that's on the same level as White Christmas and even Jingle Bells. Christmas enthusiasts now eagerly await Mariah every year to declare, But it wasn't always that way. Every journey has a beginning. So I thought to mark this anniversary, we'd spend some time listening to Mariah talk about the song and the album when they were brand new. These are old interview clips, all from 1994, a year when Mariah herself wasn't sure if it was time for a Christmas album. Let's start with this one from MTV, where Mariah talked about trying to decide what songs to do for the album.
Well, it was a really tough decision, like which standards to do and which originals to do, because there's so many great Christmas songs, and it was like, which cute ones do I do and which more spiritual ones do I do? I just kind of collectively chose and, played them for a few different people.
There are 3 original songs on the album. When appearing on BET's Video Soul, Mariah was asked if it was easier or harder to write a Christmas hit.
I have basically 3 different types of Christmas songs on this record. One, called Jesus Born on This Day, is really like a traditional hymn that I wrote that's very spiritual, and it was a lot of fun because we brought some little kids in there and they sang with us, my backup singers, nieces and nephews and little sisters and stuff, and that was really cool. So that's a totally different perspective. It's much more spiritual. Then I did one that's really kind of fun and old fashioned, very 60s retro, called All I Want for Christmas Is You. Very Ronettes type of a vibe. And Miss You Most at Christmas is the one I think we're going to play today. And it's very kind of a sad, reflective Christmas song, because not everybody is happy at the holidays. You know what I mean? A lot of people get very mellow and thinking about people that have passed or that, aren't with them anymore. So that was kind of my point of view on that song.
That is a great song. It's just one that doesn't get a lot of airplay anymore. Just listening to her talk about the original songs, though, she talks just as passionately as the 2 originals that we almost never hear, as she talks about the one we always hear. Those other 2 songs, Jesus Was Born on This Day and Miss You Most at Christmas Time, were actually written first. We covered more of the album's backstory in an episode in our very first season of Behind the Christmas Hits, so if you haven't heard it, you can find it in our library. Her record company wanted something more up-tempo, and that's when she wrote All I Want for Christmas Is You. Here's Mariah on VH1.
I was up at the farm upstate, and it was nighttime, and I was just walking around, and I got the idea for the song. The song is a very retro, kind of cute little Christmas ditty. Sometimes I'll think about I want to write a song like this or like that, but that melody just came into my head, the verse melody, and then I was walking around and I just went in and I had a little keyboard set up there and I just kind of finished the lyrics and the melody just came pretty quickly. And then when I was finishing it, I would walk downstairs and look at all the Christmas type things and say, okay, what reminds me of Christmas? I need more Christmas words here. I need more references, Christmas references. So I'd put on different Christmas movies, light the fire, I would put the tree on, I would go downstairs at 3 o'clock in the morning so I could be by myself. I like to set the stage a little bit.
She is a vibe, and the vibe while recording the album was a good one, as she told Video Soul host Donnie Simpson.
When I went into the studio to make it, it was less of a stressful situation. Everybody wasn't so on top of me going, make it perfect, make it like this, make it like, you know what I mean? So it was more like my own space to really just sit there and look at it and say, this is a Christmas album, it's fun, I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to do things that I wouldn't normally be able to do. So we had a good time.
All I Want for Christmas Is You was the first single. When appearing on CBS This Morning with Mark McEwen, he asked her if she was ready for it to compete with the Christmas classics like Winter Wonderland and Frosty the Snowman.
I don't look at it as competing, I look at it as more of me giving my little contribution to the world of Christmas songs, and hopefully my fans will enjoy them, and it'll be something for me to sing during the holidays, because I'm totally the hugest Christmas fanatic there is. My whole life I've always been really festive and really into the holidays. My mom always made the holidays a great time of year for me and really special. So it was that was why I did this album, just really, for myself. And it was fun. I wrote the songs last year over Christmas time, so everything was really, authentic, and I got into the spirit of the whole thing. And I've kind of been having Christmas all year this year. It's been great.
The artwork for the album features Mariah with real reindeer.
We rented them. I guess you could call him like a reindeer wrangler or something. I don't know what they call him, but it was pretty hysterical. And they're really big. You don't realize how large these creatures are. They're huge. So I had a really good time. We're feeding them bananas and stuff. I guess they like bananas. I don't know.
And in a complete reversal of how things usually work, the video was shot before the song was even written.
I really enjoyed doing the video. It was so much fun to make. I actually made the video before I did wrote the song, and all it is clips in Super 8 of me playing in the snow and playing with Santa Claus, and had my dogs with antlers on them, and cute little Christmas vignettes of that nature.
The album's release was marked with a huge event at Rockefeller Center.
I won't be ice skating, though, because I just learned how to ice skate. I want to, but I think if I fall or slip, that'll be the clip that they use for the rest of my life. So
probably a good call. The album was an instant success. By the time she did this interview with ABC, it had already sold 7 million copies.
It's pretty amazing considering that it's only been out for 3 weeks. And when they told me that last night, I was very happy, but kind of shocked. It's very cool. I had a good time making it. For me, it was almost more about, I want to make an album that I can wrap my presents to.
You heard her say it earlier, but spiritual was a word Mariah used a lot when talking about this album in '94.
I think I'm definitely a very spiritual person, not necessarily a very religious person in a structured way, but I really am a very spiritual person, and that's why I think my vocals on this album are probably my most heartfelt and authentic vocals, meaning that when I listen to it, I know that I was really feeling it when I sang it. And a lot of it is because, a lot of the stuff we did, a lot more gospel-influenced things and vocal arrangements. I mean, I do that all the time, but with this, we did some real gospel.
Speaking of religion and spirituality, did you know that the first live performance of All I Want for Christmas Is You was in a church? December 8th, 1994. Mariah performed a half-hour set at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine in Manhattan. All proceeds went to the Fresh Air Fund, which helps kids in underserved communities, and Camp Mariah, an annual fresh air summer camp that still happens every year. Mariah personally donated $1 million that night, and the concert raised an additional $700,000. It doesn't look anything like Mariah's Christmas concerts do now. It's very stripped down. Just Mariah, the band, and 3 backup singers all dressed in black, flanked by a few Christmas trees. Video from the concert had never been officially released until about 5 years ago, when Mariah posted it on her YouTube channel. She sounds fantastic, but the crowd is really interesting to watch because they don't know the song that well. It had only been out for a few weeks. It's also had the kind of influence on a new generation that Phil Spector's A Christmas Gift for You had on earlier generations of artists. Kelly Clarkson told the New York Times, quote, "When Mariah came out with her first Christmas record, it changed the game for all of us. She paved the way for us all to be able to have a chance at creating original Christmas songs because she proved to the industry not only how lucrative it could be, but how magical it can be to have a record that is part of your life every year." No one knew what this would become. I mean, yes, it was Mariah Carey in 1994, one of the biggest pop stars on the planet, but still, no one predicts this. Which is why this question from Donnie Simpson is a fun one to finish with.
Do you have the hope that one of your songs would be considered a classic one day? Wouldn't that be nice to have a classic Christmas song?
I would love it. I mean, I'm not going to be, that arrogant as to say, well, this will become a classic or that's a classic, but I'm very happy with them.
Happy anniversary, Queen. I'm Drew Savage. Thank you so much for listening. You can find me on Instagram at Drew Savage On Air. Hey, let me know what your favorite Mariah Carey Christmas song is. Mine is actually her version of Hark the Herald Angels Sing, which she did sing in the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. If you enjoyed the show, it would make our Christmas dreams come true if you would leave us a review. It helps other people find the podcast. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a story behind the Christmas hits.